I think this is a good one. I'll tell you what I think.
This might be a little controversial.
I know if you're married. I know how many children you have.
Hi everyone, I'm Nargis. Welcome back to another episode of the Expat Blueprint. Today, we have an HR professional. She has worked across different cultures, industries, and if you are someone who is starting off their career in the GCC or in Qatar, this is the video for you. And if you are stepping into the corporate world, this again is a really good video for you because we will dive deep into HR perspectives about making a CV, how to land that dream job, and making sure you crack that interview. So let's welcome Ms. Rawan Jawad.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for coming to this show. It really means a lot.
Thank you.
So let's start off with when you came to Qatar and why that happened.
Right. So I came here December 3 years ago, actually. It was right after the World Cup.
Okay.
I didn't witness the World Cup.
Sad.
I didn't want to. I think coming here because I had my family, I thought it would be too much for us to kind of make the move during that time. So we decided to wait till after.
Okay.
The reason we came is because my husband got a job and we kind of followed it after. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And when you came here, was there a culture shock compared to where you came from the UK?
So I've come from the UK. I lived in the UK for about over 10 years. And prior to that, I lived in the US. So raised in Florida.
Okay.
So coming here, I wouldn't say it's a culture shock because it's a very modern, it's amazing. Culturally, yeah, maybe it's a shock to see how clean and how the amenities are and the service. And I think that in itself was just outstanding. Okay. So, and this it's safe.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I couldn't fault it. Yeah, you get homesick, but, and I do miss a bit of rain and the gray skies.
But isn't it like really extreme in the UK?
It is extreme, but we have the other extreme here. So I think that is one thing I will always miss. But other than that, there's nothing really that we're missing out here.
True, true. And work culture-wise, how is it different from UK?
Right. So work culture, it's this multinational employee workforce that you get where you don't get it in the UK.
Okay.
So I think UK is more rigid. Like it's rules and it's timelines, and you have that here. But at the same time, because you have so many different cultures, you kind of have to be more flexible and you have to understand different things. And then you have the Qatari aspect and Qatari culture, and you have to respect that side of it as well. Whereas in the UK, you don't have any of that. You have policies, procedures, and it's very to the line, rigid kind of thing. Whereas here, you kind of have to understand differently where everybody's from, understand where, you know, what are we looking to do in this company, and I think it's just the policies, procedures are so much different here.
Thanks for sharing that. Okay, so what would be your best advice for someone coming to Qatar for a job for the first time?
Connections, relationships. I think elsewhere you get away with throwing out your CV, interviewing, getting a job that way. I think it does work in different countries. What I found in the GCC, I think it's the same in Dubai, Qatar, even Saudi Arabia now, that you have to know people. And I think your first bet is get on LinkedIn. Get on LinkedIn, research companies, research people in the industries that you want to work with, and just add them, start following them, speak to people, send out emails. It's all about your connections, because people, I will come to you and say, I'm looking for this, you know, an IT position. Do you know anyone? And you'll think, oh, I know this person that's looking to come here. And then you'll send me the CV. And that's how you get the ball rolling. Whereas people do apply directly, but I think it's relationships, 100%.
Okay, and to add on to that, I think Qatar is a very small network, so everyone really knows each other. So socially networking and getting to know people goes a long way.
Absolutely. And there's so many like societies for different
communities
and roles, and like WhatsApp groups. I was added to an HR WhatsApp group. So there's so many different mediums now that you can go through. Whereas I don't think it's the old school idea of I'm going to go look at job boards and send my CV. I think people don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Speaking of applying to jobs,
Yes.
what is the ideal CV? What is a CV that you've seen and you're like, that's amazing, that's impressive?
Okay. First of all, 1 page, maybe 1.5. Even if you've worked 45 years, even if you've worked 10 years, even if you worked 1 year, you don't need a long CV. Nobody's going to read it. This is the issue. Like, I can't go through. So if I put a job out there, I'll get, let's say, 150 CVs.
Okay.
Yeah. If they're all 10 pages, how do you expect me to go through? So I'll just look at the first page and then move on.
And you have so many people applying to the same job. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think you need to just focus all your energy onto this 1 page and think, how can I sell it? How can I sell myself? And I think based on that, that's how you get it. If you are going to put a photo and make it like a nice, clear, professional, no selfies. Like, I know you're younger and you think
You've
maybe
seen CVs with a selfie?
I've got all kinds of things.
Oh,
yeah, a selfie, or you with the, like, your, I could see a hand hanging from the side, like you've cropped it. Just take the time out to kind of, it's your CV. It's going to get you that job. Just, plan it. And then some people put really irrelevant experience.
Like hobbies?
Hobbies, that's another thing. That's very old school. Yeah,
like a big
I don't
one,
need
right?
to know that you play football on a Wednesday night. Yeah, I don't need that. Or you game. Like, I got this CV where people were telling me about gaming and like what games. Like, no, I don't need to know that as well. So like, it has to be just to the point, short, relevant. Achievements. You have to put your achievements, not just your job. I worked at McDonald's as a cashier. What did you learn from that job? What responsibilities did you get?
Okay.
Like little responsibilities, like was able to, I checked tills and found where I lost money, like whatever it is, or I made a process better, something. Give me something that makes you stand out. And I will also say, if you did apply, send a message.
To the HR?
Send a message. Sometimes it will go unnoticed, but sometimes, like, somebody will send you a message and then they'll send another message. And I'm like,
that's something I did.
Did you do?
Yeah.
And then eventually what happened?
Yeah, that happened. Yeah.
So I think you send a message. It does eventually get there.
Yeah.
And it has to be right place, right time, isn't it?
Yeah, true. This reminds me of this debate, I had with my friend.
Yeah.
I told her that I put pictures of myself, a professional one, on my CV. And she was like, no, that's unprofessional. Don't put your pictures. That shows bias. That shows that you're trying to show some kind of a privilege. I'm like, I don't know how to look at this. As an HR, what is your perspective on this? Picture, no picture.
So picture, no picture. I think in this region, you put a picture. People in Qatar, they expect a photo. Yeah, they do. I have to say, coming here, it was very strange because I worked in the UK. In the UK, you don't see photos. Sometimes it's not even a name, it's an initial. So I don't know you're a female or you're male. I don't know your birth date. I can't ask you your birth date. So it's all about, not knowing and hiring blindly, like hiring based just on your skills. Whereas I've come here, I've seen birthdays. So I'll know how old you are. I know if you're married. I know how many children you have. And I think this can cause bias because let's say the hiring manager wants somebody that's single or that doesn't have a lot of responsibilities or, it's sad to say, and it is a controversial topic, but everybody has a bit of bias. And I think keeping it as general as possible until you get into the interview. And in the interview, you will get asked questions, but by that time, you're there. That's half the battle. You're sat in front of somebody and they're talking to you and you might get this job. So this is where you sell yourself, even if you've stated all these other things.
Got it. Now that we're talking about interviews,
go on.
Tell me the hack to ace an interview.
The hack, I don't know if there's a hack, but there are some things not to do in an interview.
Okay, tell me that.
So I had this interview with somebody not long ago. And then I was sat there and they just were not giving me any information. Like I would ask, what was your job? And they would just tell me their title. And I'd say, what did you do? And they would give me another sentence. And it was like pulling teeth. Like I was constantly trying to get information. And then at the end, I was like, I was the one talking. And then at the end, I couldn't keep going because I didn't know what else to say to them. They were just, so brag, even brag. Yeah, brag about your achievements. You've worked hard.
Yeah.
Tell them what you've done. Also, when you first go in, just smile. Like, don't be, yeah.
People don't smile?
Some people don't. I know it's nerve-wracking, and I try to be as like chill as possible. Like, I don't make it seem like an interview. I make it seem like I'm just sat there talking and speaking to somebody. But I think it is nerve-wracking. But just a little smile, it just breaks that ice. Yeah. And then I've had people come in and complain about like little things in their lives, or bash their old employers. I think this is a really important one that people don't talk about. So if I say, why did you leave your job? Because I hated it. I hated the people I worked with. I hated don't say that. Yeah? We didn't agree. Yeah. Because then how do I know you're not going to bash the next place? Or the next place. So I think that's really important. And yeah, just ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. So many times I've been in an interview and they don't ask me a question.
Yeah. What would be the ideal question a person can ask?
This is a good one. So I was scrolling and I saw this person talk about what's the best question to ask. And they said something along the lines of, the best question is, so you're asking me,
do you have any questions for me?
I do. So let's say I get this job and a year down the line, you're reflecting on why you hired me. What have I done in this year that made you believe that you've made the right decision? So right away, I've put in your mind that I'm hired.
Yeah.
I've got this job.
You're making the interview visualize you hired.
You're seeing me hired. You're seeing me a year on. Yeah. A year on from now, I'm hired. I'm in this position. And you're evaluating me already. Yeah. Like I finished my probation.
And it shows
I finished my year
for a year.
Exactly. Nice. So I thought this was a really good question. Yeah. So that's something.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I'll keep that in mind. And so you've worked with a lot of generations, right?
Yeah.
I want to know which generation works hard, Gen Z or millennials?
Works hard. Everybody works hard.
Okay.
Everybody works hard.
Okay.
Priorities are different. So when I was going through the workforce, and I think a lot of people similar age to me were going through the workforce, work was life. Like you worked to go up that ladder. You worked to get the manager position. You just worked and it didn't matter when. I think younger people, what I'm noticing is they really value their time. Rightly so. They value their space. They value their peace of mind. Right? We were talking about this. They value the fact that they clock out and they have their lives.
Yeah, me time.
And work-life balance, which is now a thing. But I think still with a lot of the older folks, it's still not, because we feel like we're underperforming, like we're not doing enough. Yeah. Whereas really it is enough. It should be enough.
Yeah. I think it's because there's like two extremes of each. Millennials are like glorifying the hustle culture and putting in the grind, you know, more than 9 to 5 so that they could show that they're overachievers. Whereas Gen Z, this might be a little controversial, is like too committed to that work balance, is too in touch with their emotions, and the word burnout is used a lot.
Quiet quitting.
Yeah.
All of that.
Quiet quitting.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where people kind of just
So I think we should meet like halfway. Maybe the next generation there'll be like a balance.
But I think it's working. Like it's starting to kind of mesh and start being definitely.
Now, what is your best advice to someone stepping into the corporate world?
Just starting out,
fresh out of college, new into the world, and they land the job. How can they impress their bosses and the company?
Okay, I think this is a good one. I'll tell you what I think. I think be the person that finds a solution. Don't be the person that's only bringing problems. I think this is a huge thing. Everybody can point out problems. Yeah? We can all do that. But when you come give me a problem, bring me the solution at the same time. And I think this will get you very far in the corporate world.
Okay. So let's talk about your work life versus your personal life. How do you balance that?
Right. So I'm a mommy of 3 girls. So it's hard. It's difficult. But I will say it's knowing when to say no.
Okay.
So it's knowing when your plate is just too full and you kind of need a moment. And it's knowing not to say yes to everything. And not just at work, even outside of work. You know, school's asking you to volunteer something, or somebody's asking you, do you want to go somewhere? It's just knowing when to say, do you know what? I can't. Because otherwise, you can't keep all the balls in the air. Like one is gonna fall, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think you just need to keep it as leveled as possible and make sure you're not giving too much.
Okay, interesting. And how do you handle burnout, or what would you advise someone exhausted?
Just speak up.
Speak up.
I think talk about it. I think we are in this culture where we just say, I'll just keep going, I'll keep going, I'll keep going. And it's like a pressure cooker. Do you know, it just, you eventually that lid is gonna pop, isn't it? But if you talk about it, if you go to your manager and say, do you know what, I just have a lot on. And then they will say, all right, what do you need help with? Yeah, and it's that small question of what do you need? And I think I'm very mindful. You know, we are in corporate world and I am in HR and I'm looking after the company and the people. But I think I just constantly remind myself that everybody has a backstory. Yeah, you could come into work and there could be so much
going on
behind the scenes that I don't know about. So I make it a point to just say, are you okay? What's happening? Yeah. And you will find, my sofa gets used a lot and people will come in and come and chat. And it's not, you know, I don't want to be that person where if you have to go to the HR office, it's always like, dreaded. You know what I mean? Like I want to be that person where people come to me and say, do you know what? I'm really tired or I'm really upset and it could be just asking somebody. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be the HR manager. It could be anybody in the company. If you see somebody that's a bit not their usual self, just say, are you okay? And I think that goes such a long way.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, and lastly, I would like to ask you, as an HR, what are the struggles of making tough decisions in your company?
I think everybody will say this, it's redundancies, having to let people go. I do my best to fight it till the very end, unless we absolutely have to. I think you have to remember that these people have families, these people have, you know, a life outside. Granted, if it's something, you know, misconduct or something, that's different. But I'm saying if we can help it, if we can maybe move that person or if we can relocate them or something.
You try your
I
best.
try my best because it's not a nice feeling. I think that is probably one of
the last resort you take.
I don't enjoy it, but it has to be done. I think you have to take the hiring, but like I love hiring people. I love calling people and saying, you've got the job.
Yeah, I remember when I got hired at my first job ever, I was so stoked. I did it through LinkedIn and it was all by myself, and I told my dad, and they were like obviously really happy about it. And then he also said, well, you guys have it easy. And I'm like, okay, what do you mean? And he's like, well, back in my days when I came to Qatar for the first time 35 years ago, I had to run and walk around under the scorching sun, knock on their office, give
People
out
still do that.
CVs.
People still do that. Yeah, it is. It's things are easier now. And I think, but with that, the market is fleeting. Like you're in and out of jobs a lot, isn't it? Like it's not the stability that you had before.
True.
And competition is fierce. Yeah.
It is. Everyone's just super talented and
they are. And they're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's about it. Thank you so much. I learned a lot today, and I'm sure a lot of people have watching this video. Your insights are really meaningful, and you've made a true impact in a lot of people's life.
Oh, thank you.
I just want to thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.